Sit back, relax, and enjoy listening. Member 1, who has been standing silently through all of it. His expression has grown harder with every passing second. Finally, he says, "Exactly, RK." The others fall silent. Member 1 looks directly at RK. He steps closer and puts both hands on RK's shoulders, like he's explaining something to his little brother. "I need you to listen to me carefully, brother, please." RK raises his eyes. Member 1 continues in a soft voice filled with concern. "I know why you married her. I was there when you made that decision. I remember trying to talk you out of it. I remember telling you that saving your life did not mean you had to give her your future. You listened to everything I said. And then you married her anyway." He pauses. "Because you believed it was the right thing to do." RK doesn't argue. Member 1's expression tightens. "But I also remember what happened before that. I remember watching you during those days when she was in control of the company. I remember how exhausted you were. I remember how much you were pushing yourself. And I remember why it started. You stopped her from hitting someone. You held her hand. And because she could not stand being stopped, she made sure you felt the consequences of crossing her." Member 1's voice grows heavier as he tries to remain calm for RK. "That woman made my brother suffer because he tried to stop her from hurting someone. That is something I have not forgotten." No one interrupts him. Member 1 takes another slow breath. "Then came the marriage. You entered it because you believed you owed her your life. And I accepted that, even though I hated the idea because it was your decision and I respect that. But now you're standing here telling me you love her." He shakes his head slowly. "I can't just accept that without asking you whether you are sure." RK remains quiet. Member 1 continues. "Because from where I have been standing all these months, she hasn't given you any reason to love her. She stays away from you. She lives in another room. She treats you like someone she has to tolerate because of her mother's wishes. Even when you care about her. She fights with you. Even when you're trying to protect her. She turns it into another transaction." Member 1's voice becomes more emotional. "And that night when she called it a transaction." His eyes remain fixed on RK. "You had already told yourself you were done. You had decided you would stop caring. You had every reason to let someone else handle it. But the moment you heard there was a fire on her floor, you ran into that building. You didn't wait. You didn't think about yourself. And when you still couldn't find her, you searched the entire city. All day. All night. You didn't eat. You barely slept. You refused to stop until someone found her." He pauses. "And after all of that, when she finally learned that you were the one who saved her, what did she ask?" Member 1's jaw tightens. "She didn't ask whether you were hurt. She didn't ask what you had gone through. She asked what the price was. She turned it into another transaction. That is what I remember. And I remember you carrying that quietly too." The room falls silent. Member 1's voice softens but his eyes remain firm. "So when you stand in front of us now and say you love her, I know you can, RK. You have a beautiful heart, brother. You can love anyone, even SV, the woman the world says is heartless, who never loves anyone, who can destroy anyone or anything that dares to come in her way. You can, RK, but I don't want you to love someone who only gives you pain in return, brother. You're too innocent and soft for people, and people have mistaken that kindness before. That happened before too. Remember that foreign president's daughter? You just talked sweetly to her, went shopping with her, and danced with her at a public event. And she turned around and put allegations against you. RK, you are too kind for this world. RK, I won't let the world hurt you again. Especially never with SV, who has already proved what she can do to you." RK stares at him, still not saying a word. Member 4 shakes his head and says, "Brother, you don't owe her your heart. You don't owe her a lifetime. And you certainly don't have to turn a 6-month marriage into something permanent, just because you feel responsible for what happened." RK continues to listen. He doesn't interrupt once. Member 1 looks at him for a long moment. Then his voice becomes quieter. "I am not telling you that you are foolish. I am telling you that I have watched you suffer. And I don't want you to mistake that suffering for something you are supposed to keep carrying." Silence fills the room. Member 2 looks toward RK. We are saying this because we know you. We know how easily you put everyone else's needs before your own. That is why this scares us. Member 3 nods. We don't want you waking up months from now and realizing you stayed because you thought you had no right to leave. Member 5 looks at RK. And if you're doing this because she saved you, please don't. You don't have to repay her anymore.